So I'm gonna let you guys in on a little secret. Something's coming. That's all I'm gonna say. So yes, more changes are coming to the game. And speaking of changes, that's pretty much today's topic. We're gonna look at some of the top 5 most impactful changes that were made in Pokemon Go this year. So let's not waste any time, shall we? Let's get into it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who it is. This is your boy True Inferno. Today's day is Tuesday, October the 10th. 10. Yeah, if y'all know, y'all know. So, like I said at the beginning of this video, we are going to look at the top 5 most impactful changes that came to Pokemon Go. And also, I'm going to give you guys an honorable mention. Now, before we get into that, I just want to remind people that my second single, you should be hearing it right now and probably throughout this entire video, which is Sun Chasing, is available now. It's not on this channel. It's at my other YouTube channel, which is strictly called True Inferno. And it is the second single off my upcoming beat album, the Kyoto Hour Volume 10. You see how these 10s come together? So yes, this is my 10th and final Kyoto Hour album. Granted, I came out with 3 compilation albums, but they don't count. But yeah, this is the final Kyoto Hour album. This joint will come out Friday, November the 24th. It will be available on trueinferno.bandcamp.com. The link should be right here. It will also be available on Spotify, and it will be available at all major online music retail online. Yeah, wait, no,
you blew it.
All online major music retailers. There we go. With that said, that's just the standard edition. There's going to be a deluxe edition and an ultimate edition, and those two will be available at trueinferno.bandcamp.com. That will be the only place to pick up those 2 editions, whereas the standard edition will be available everywhere, Spotify included. So there you go with that. Now, let's not waste any time. Let's get on with our 5 most impactful changes that came to Pokemon Go this year. Let's start off with number 5, folks. Number 5 is the radio button. Now, this is something that we've been asking for a very, very long time, and we often wonder, how in the world did a Harry Potter game get that feature and not Pokemon Go? And then even when Harry Potter was pretty much gonzo, in terms of the mobile game, we still didn't get it. But we got it this year. It took about, 6 years for us? Yeah, nearly 6 years for us to get that feature, which makes no sense to me. But nevertheless, we finally got it. So, it came out technically it was introduced during GoFest Osaka in London. It was more like at a test beta around that time. Now, seeing how I was at GoFest Osaka, I was able to use the feature. Now, obviously the purpose of the radio button is to start the raid as soon as possible. Now, originally, when this thing was out during GoFest Osaka, and I guess at Worlds in Yokohama, the radio button worked like this. So basically, the raid would start when the majority of people raided up. So like, for example, if there's 12 people in the raid and about, I don't know what the exact number was, let's say 8 raided up, that's the majority, I guess. Or really 7 would be the majority. But let's say 8 or 9 raided up, boom, the raid timer rather will go down to 10 seconds. Which is cool because the raid started sooner, but at the same time, it was bad because for people just showing up, they have to organize their party and, heal their party and their Pokemon, stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. So, and you could say, well, they should do it before they jump a raid. But the problem is, if they do that, the timer may go down from 56 to 10 before they even get in. So you want to get in there first and then try to, heal your Pokemon and things of that nature. Now it's different and it's better, to be honest. So now the timer rather will go down to 10 seconds when everybody radies up, or when there's 20 people in the lobby. Remember, 20 people is the maximum people that can be in a raid lobby at a time. So there's that. And the one issue with the feature was that it took too long for it to be added to the game, like I talked about already. But the major issue with it is the fact that the radio button does not work solo. In other words, if you're trying to solo raid, you cannot push the radio button and boom, cut the timer down to 10 seconds. Unfortunately, it don't work like that. Why? I don't know. I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. I think it's idiotic. But you need at least 2 people for you to use the radio button. But at least we got it. So, figuring all of that, I figured I would grade this. I'm going to grade every change that happened this year, or the top 5. I'm going to grade this at a B, because we got the radio feature. It's a good feature, a feature that should have been in the game a long time ago. And even though it's not perfect because of the whole, you can't use the radio button by yourself for some stupid reason, but we got it. and it's at a spot where it's much better than what it was at GoFest Osaka, at GoFest London. So I give it a B. Now let's move on to number 4. Number 4 are the showcases. Now this feature was added a few months ago. I'm not exactly sure when this was added, but you know, it wasn't that long ago, probably like over 2-3 years, not 3 years, 3 months ago rather. It involved Pokemon adding, or you adding Pokemon regarding, you know, whether it's the largest or the smallest Pokemon in the showcase to compete against other trainers and to be rewarded with prizes. You know, for the most part, it don't matter where you rank. So yeah, this showcase thing will feature Pokemon whether they're largest or smallest. But there's a problem with that. We'll get more on that in a second. The rewards are crazy good the higher you rank when the showcase is over. So there have been times where I finished first, and by the way, the maximum amount of showcases you can enter at a time is 3, and I finished first place in all 3, and the rewards are crazy. Now, the showcase Pokemon location does not change throughout the season, which is very consistent and is good. But it varies in terms of whether or not it's good or not. We'll get more on that in a second. Now what they're doing is they're announcing showcases in advance, which helps a lot, because once upon a time you just have to drive around and hopefully discover the showcase. Now they let you know, hey, or during this time there's going to be a showcase from here to here, and they let you know that in advance, which is great and fantastic. So you can go to your usual Pokestops that have the showcase and be like, okay, is anybody in here? Should I enter in this one? And whatever the case may be. Now, me personally, there's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 Pokestops, as far as I know of anyway, that have these showcases in them, and not a lot of people take part in them. So that's easy first place for me. But the thing is, we're gonna get to the negatives now, which is this: that's not everybody. What I experienced doesn't mean you experience that. Doesn't mean the rest of the world who play Pokemon Go experienced that. Which brings us to some of the problems with the showcase, and that is this: they kind of exclusive. So the thing about it is this: I'm not sure if everybody have access to these showcases. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody complain about that. But let me know in the comment section below. Like, are there showcases near your house? Are you able to get to a showcase? You know, so let me know about that. But like I said, I haven't seen a lot of people complain about them. So that's why I'm like, well, I mean, I got it made, but I don't know if that's everybody. More than likely not, but I haven't heard anybody complain about it. So I can't say. So I want to hear from you guys in the comment section regarding that. And if that is true, that not everybody have access to these showcases, then yeah, it make this feature kind of exclusive, which is a theme with Niantic and Pokemon Go as of late. We'll get more into that later. Now, another issue, and now we bringing this topic back, is this: every showcase so far has only included largest Pokemon. And I'm like, okay, where's the smallest Pokemon? You know, they talk about, oh, the showcase will feature largest and smallest, but I'm like, we only seen the largest Pokemon. Where's the smallest Pokemon? We haven't seen that yet. So that's an issue right there. Now, there's one more issue, and that is this. This is like a nitpick to a degree, and that is this: if you enter the showcase and you want to take that Pokemon out of that showcase because you might be at 52nd place, but then you found another one where nobody's in it, or you can easily get in the top 3, and you want to put a Pokemon in there, but you can't because you have your limit of 3. So yeah, that's the issue, but there is a way to work around it, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's not easy, but it's a bit of work to do. So how you do this? So let me explain real quick. Let's say you got 3 Pokemon in 3 showcases. So you got Showcase 1, Showcase 2, and Showcase 3. And then you just happen to drive along and you discover Showcase 4, which is like right over there. Nobody's in it. You want to put a Pokemon in it. But Showcase 1, you probably in like 57th place, whereas Showcase 2 and 3, you in first place because nobody's there. So here's what you do. You want to take your Pokemon out of Showcase 1 and put in Showcase 4. Here's what you do. You go to the Today tab. You scroll all the way to the bottom. And then you're going to go to Showcase 1. You're going to see what Pokemon you got in there and how many points that Pokemon is worth in that showcase. Let's say you put in a Pikachu that's worth about, 800 points. Okay, it's fine. So be it. Now, with that in your memory, you go to Showcase 2. And now you're going to make a switch. You can actually do this remotely. You don't have to go to that Pokestop to do that. You can if you want to, but you can do this remotely. So in the Today tab, you go to Showcase 2, you switch your Pokemon that's in there, that Pikachu that may be that have 700 points, whatever the case may be, and you put in the Pokemon that have 800 points. When you do that, you're going to get a prompt message saying, Are you sure you want to do that? Because if you do, you can remove this Pokemon from Showcase 1, which is what you want to do. You say yes or you click OK, whatever the case may be. Pokemon Pikachu that was in Showcase 1 is now in Showcase 2. And now you do not have a Pokemon in Showcase 1, and you have a free slot for a third showcase, which is where Showcase D comes to play. You can put whatever Pikachu you want in there, and boom, you have first place. So that's one way to go about it. So, but again, instead of just saying having an option where you can just easily remove a Pokemon from a showcase, you have to do all of this work to do that. So there's that. But despite that, and the fact that showcases are kind of exclusive, depending on what you guys say in the comment section below, I'm gonna give it an A because you're getting rewards. You're getting rewards from this. And if you finish in the top 3, maybe top 8, top 10, the rewards on all 3, or 2 out of 3, whatever the case may be, the rewards will be very good at the least. And oh my gosh, if you somehow get first place in all 3, bruh. That's all I'm gonna say, just bruh. So, and the reason why this is number 4 over the radio button, because the radio button was something that we've been running for a long time, and while we welcome it, it's not perfect. So it's not that impactful yet. Until we get the option to use the radio button to do a solo raid, then it would be more impactful in my opinion. So that's why showcases are more impactful, but it's only at the number 4 spot because not like it's a deal breaker in Pokemon Go. Let's talk about something that is somewhat of a deal breaker in Pokemon Go. Number 3. Y'all know this was coming. Routes. So yes, Routes is number 3 on my list. So basically, Routes was added with the debut of Zygarde during the Blaze New Trails event. So this supposedly inspired people to walk more and explore new areas that other trainers used. That other trainers used that they knew existed. So I knew that, for example, the University of Michigan Dearborn existed. So I created a route over there. So it just so happened if somebody who played Pokemon Go just happened to drive by there, they see a route over there. Oh my gosh, there's a route over there. Let's check it out. Because they might not have been over there before. So they park, they walk around, they see all the Pokestops over there, all the gyms, all the spawns over there. And now they're going, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to come here more often because of the route I created. Okay, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. And the rewards for this, which includes rare candies, elite TMs, and more, it adds a little more inspiration to wanting to complete these routes, which is cool. And as of late, now you can be level 40 and up to create routes, because this is something that you can create as well. Now, they might have lowered that requirement more. I don't know, but last time I checked, it was lowered down to level 40, and that happened recently, by the way. Now, the bad stuff about routes is this. The Niantic review process. So you create a route, but it has to be reviewed by Niantic. Now I'm reaching for my phone because let me share some info with you guys real quick. So I created some routes during the summer, and all with the exception of one has been accepted. So y'all cannot see this in the game, but I'm gonna just go for it real quick. So here it is right here, created routes. I created a grand total of 5 routes. Now, the first route I created, it was accepted within a matter of, I want to say 3 or 4 days. And I actually did a video on that. So y'all know that video, it's in the channel. So there's that one. Then what happened was I went to Japan and I created 3 routes. I created one in Kyoto. I created one in Akihabara, and I created one in Shibuya. Well, those 3 routes took about a month to be accepted. The Kyoto one was accepted first, so that took about a month. And then the Shibuya was accepted 2 weeks ago, and that was pretty much close to 2 months after I created that one. The Akihabara is still under review, so that one, we're now past the 2-month range with the Akihabara one. And then the crazy thing was, I created one around Schoolcraft College. That one was accepted within a matter of hours. So I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about the reviewing process. But it's all over the place in my opinion. It is all over the place. But I am glad that 2 out of the 3 that I created in Japan were accepted. I didn't see if anybody used those. I'm assuming somebody used those Godzilla one. But getting back to the topic at hand, it's still slow in terms of the reviewing process, and originally only level 50 people were able to create routes, and not even all of them. Some of them would be able to create routes. And then because of the fact that it was slow and not a lot of people were able to create routes, which means you couldn't find them either. So that took a route for that to get going. But now that they lowered the requirement to level 40 and more people are submitting routes and getting accepted, hopefully that will change. But it had a very terrible start to begin with. And then also the Zygarde cells. So that's really the main reason why anybody would want to do the routes, to get the Zygarde cells. You need Zygarde cells to evolve your Zygarde from like 0% to 50% and ultimately to 100%. The problem is you only get about like 1, 2, maybe 3 per route. And if memory serves it correctly, 3 is the max amount you can get per day. That's unacceptable. That is egregious. That is asinine. That is blasphemous, if you ask me. Those Zygarde cell drops are way too low. If you ask me, it should be 10 per day, or I'm reaching here, 10 per route, in my opinion, because, you know, obviously we all, if you did the event that gets you 1 Zygarde, we only have 1 Zygarde. But the thing is, obviously the objective is to get it to level, 50% and ultimately 100%. But what if you want to go backwards? Is it possible to go backwards from 100% to 50%? Because based on what I'm hearing, I think the 50% one is better overall than the 100% one. Because I think the 50% one, based on what I heard, was good for PvP. But Zygarde as a whole have no play in the meta, aka in raids. And the 100% version isn't good in PvP either. So, I mean, I don't know in terms of the whole, can you evolve them backwards from 100% to 50 and back to 0? Do you need Zygarde cells to evolve them backwards? You see what I'm saying? So the fact that you can only get a maximum of 3 per day, if that is true, it's just blasphemous. So that Zygarde cell drop rate is way too low. It should be raised up to 10. And this feature is basically exclusive because why? You have to go out and you have to find the routes to do it. So, and not everybody is fortunate enough to do that, which makes this feature exclusive. It's not available for everybody. It's only available for some people who are fortunate enough to take advantage of this feature, aka exclusivity. And I'm not sure if this was an attempt to get the communities together, but in my opinion, this was like a failed attempt to bring communities together, in my opinion. So, what did I give this one? I give this an overall grade of a D because the sales drop rates were way too low. And there's not a lot of incentive to do the routes. It's just one of those scenarios where, oh, there's a route here. I'm here for a route. Let me just do it. As opposed to, let me find a route, you know, purposely trying to look for a route. That's not what this does for people. And again, it's not bringing communities together because, again, the main purpose here is to get the Zygarde cells. So, to me, this was a failure of, you know, D is a failing grade. So this is a failure feature, in my opinion, until they make some changes. Speaking of failures, the failures they're gonna get good. Let's move on with number 2. Now, number 2, I'm pretty sure we all beat this around the bush, but we have to talk about it again because this did happen this year, and this is an impactful change, and that is this: remote raiding. So yes, the remote raiding changes. There is absolutely, positively, ironically enough that I say that, there is positively no positive incentive for the remote raiding change happening. None. There's none whatsoever. So this change occurred in April, and basically it's an attempt to get people out more and basically to get communities together, which didn't work. Let's be honest, it didn't work. And some of you might be saying, well, wait a minute, people are raiding in Japan and these other places. Well, the thing about Japan is their culture, whether it's in Pokemon Go or not, their culture is to be quiet. It pretty much not to socialize with each other. So they are able to do raids and not talk to anybody. That's not a community. Like, that don't count. So this is a failure of a change to try to bring communities together. It didn't work. There's no positive from this change at all. And it's another exclusive. Because again, not, you know, because of the fact that they raised the price in remote raiding, and you know, people still raid and people preferably do remote raiding, so people are willing to pay that extra money. Not a lot of people are able to do that on a, you know, weekly basis, whatever the case may be, because yeah, remote raiding is now expensive. So this is a flat out F in my opinion. There is nothing positive about this change at all. None whatsoever. So, and this is more impactful than routes, which are more impactful than showcases. I forgot to mention this. Because routes brought a new Pokemon in the game in the form of Zygarde. That's like the only reason why it's above showcases. So, but it's below remote raiding because remote raiding was something that we were doing for years. And then they made that change and made it worse to try to get people to go out more. And it didn't work. It failed. But before we get to number one, let's get to an honorable mention. Let's brighten the mood with these changes. Let's talk about the honorable mention real quick. And that is this. I'm not sure y'all noticed this, but this little change happened around the time the remote raid change happened. That was the fact that you're now able to see the number of trainers in a raid. So if you're nearby a gym where I don't know, where you don't have to be really close to it, you can see it from the distance. You will now see how many people are in that gym without you going into the gym or doing anything. You just happen to look at the gym in the game, and without clicking at the gym, you can see how many people are in there and how much time is left in that raid lobby before that raid starts with that group of people. So if you're trying to get over there, you can rush over there. Or if you think you can't make it, you can remote over there. So that is a great feature. That is a great change that were added to the game. And it's phenomenal because now, it's added a little bit more of incentive for you to get over to that gym instead of doing whatever it is that you were originally doing. If you're trying to do raids as well. So I like this feature. I see no negatives at all with this feature, and I'm giving it an A+. The reason why it's honorable mention because it's not that impactful though. It's not more impactful than my top 5. It don't deserve it to be in my top 5 most impactful changes, but it still is a change that is worth mentioning, and it's a phenomenal change, and I like it. So that's why I'm giving it an A+. Now let's move on to number 1. Number 1, we're sticking with the themes of raids, and we're gonna talk about shadow raids, or to be more specific, let's be more specific, legendary shadow raids. So this was added, I think this was added in June. Yeah, this was added in June of this year. And it's something new. So, it's a little bit of a challenge. So it's something new and it's cool. And, whatever the case may be. And it gives you opportunities to get more shadow legendaries. Because once upon a time, you have to wait for Giovanni to show back up with a shadow legendary. And you're going to get one at a time. And then whatever you get, that's what you get. Here, you can do as number of raids as you want. We'll get more on that in a second. In terms of why I made that face when I said that. And you can actually get really good IV shadow legendaries and perhaps even a shiny or even a shundo shadow legendary. So the opportunity to get more of these shadow legendaries are there. And right now, I believe it is the Moltres. Yeah, Moltres. I had a brain fart for a second. Shadow Moltres is out now. I haven't done a single one yet. So hopefully I'll be able to do some this weekend. Maybe Sunday. I doubt it. Probably Saturday would be my best bet. I don't know. Now, not a lot of positives here. Let's get on to the negatives. It's harder to get due to the rage mode. So the thing is, because this is a shadow Pokemon normally get a boost in attack, and normally their defense would go down. But we got in rage mode. In rage mode, if memory serves correctly, raise their defensive stats by 200%. So this is one of those features where you have to have a community to take this thing down. Which brings me to my next point. Another negative is that there is an unnecessary limit on how many purified gems you can have. Now, in case you're wondering what that is, purified gems are also added alongside with this, alongside with shadow shards, whatever they call it. So shadow shards are something that you get for winning a shadow raid, defeating a Team Go Rocket Grunt, and defeating a Team Go Rocket leader, which also includes Giovanni. Now, if you get 40 shadow shards, you can combine them to one purified gem. Now, the limit that you can have is officially 10. You can go around that and have 11, 12, maybe 13 if you play your cards right. I don't know. But it's around 10 to 12 in terms of how many purified gems you can have. And the fact that that's have a limit to me makes no freaking sense at all. I think that is also stupid. And what's even worse is that there's an even more unnecessary limit on the amount of purified gems you can use in these raids. So each person can use 5. So no matter if you have 10, 11, 12, 13, 57 million in your bag, if you go into a legendary shadow raid, or if you go into the shadow raid, the most amount of purified gems you can use in a raid, in one raid, is 5. And I'm like, why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? That to me, I think that's dumb. I think that's stupid. Because now what you're saying is you need to have a group of 6 or more accounts to be out and do these raids. And again, it makes no sense because not a lot of people are going out, which is another thing. Not a lot of people are going out and do these raids because there's not much of an incentive out there for people to go out and do these raids, excuse me. So, and it really depends on the location. Again, depending on where you are, not a lot of people are doing these raids. And if you know that, then you're gonna be asking yourself, why should I go out and try to do these raids if there's nobody out there to do it with me and I can't do it by myself? So I'm gonna stay at home. So if there's 20 people in this one community have that same mindset, that community is toast. That community is dead. So and this is another exclusivity. So you have to be at the right community with the right mindset of saying, hey, we got a community here, we can go out and do these raids. But not everybody is as fortunate to have that. I'm not as fortunate to have that. I'm struggling to find that myself. So, and you can't remote raid, you can't invite people to these raids, which is, another bummer as well. And this is an all-around F. This is a straight up F, because Legendary Shadow Raid, they be trying to bring communities together. This ain't it. This ain't working. This is a straight up F. This is a failure of a change, but it is the most impactful change that happened this year. Not impactful in a good way, impactful in a terrible way. So, there you go. If you reached this point in the video, leave the word in the comment section below. Change. Make that change. Okay, yeah, there you go. Leave the word change in the comment section below if you reached this point in the video. And I'm gonna call it a wrap because I need something to drink. So with all that said, y'all know this boy New J Gatsby, aka New Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah. It will also be available on Spotify, and it will be available at all major online music retail online. Yeah. Wait, no.
You blew it.
Subscribe. Thanks, man. Do it. After you subscribe to the channel, make sure you click the bell icon so you never miss a new video or a live stream ever again. Thanks, guys.
Blue is the trainer, articulating paint. With my tongue, I done things that people said I can't. Now they rank 'em with the elite, but it's for the people, and victory is part of defeat. Cause when you get back on your feet, then you try again. Learn from mistakes, show 'em that I got what it takes, and I'm dying to win. I'ma hit and move away.